Well, back to school season is a rush for families, of course, but doctors want to make sure that you take the time to check your kids' health.
Hearing is vital for good education outcomes. So this morning we are talking with Dr. Katy Mawson, clinic director at Pacific Ear Clinic and an educator at Pacific University in the audiology department. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, great to have you here.
I think this is another one of those really important back to school checkups that sometimes gets overlooked. How important are hearing screenings when it comes to your child's health?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest indicators of learning outcomes is access to communication. So the ability for a child to hear and understand instructions from teachers or chat with their friends and all of that incidental learning that happens, that gets missed if they can't hear very well.
It's pretty important to everything in your school day.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that one of the biggest concerns that we have as audiologists is that most people don't realize their child or loved one has a hearing loss until it's already progressed to the point where we need assistance. So that's why hearing screenings are really important for school-age kids.
So what age are you looking to catch these kinds of moments for these screenings early? I mean, as early as possible, I would imagine, but when is it too late?
Honestly, it's never too late, especially when you're thinking about older adults. But with pediatric kids, you really want to make sure that you are getting in as soon as possible. So when milestones are missed as far as development is concerned, or if they have speech and language concerns, really a hearing test at any time is a good idea.
And some people might not know, Oregon actually mandates screenings. So what are the regulations we need to follow in this state?
Absolutely. So your child's school will probably send home a letter with them if they are between kindergarten and 3rd grade, 7th grade, or 11th grade. Typically, it's someone like me who goes to their school and performs a brief hearing screening just to make sure that everything looks okay. We also take a look in their ears, make sure there's no wax buildup or any abnormalities that we're concerned about. So parents will see a letter home from their child's school when it's time for those hearing screenings. You are able to opt out, or if your child is already under the care of an audiologist, you can just say, my child already wears hearing aids or already is taken care of. We don't need a school screening. So even though it is state law, you can still opt out of that if you would like.
At such a young age, I'm curious to know what causes hearing loss. You know, if you are talking about a 2nd grader, right? I would imagine, I know that my mom always got mad at me for blasting music in my headphones and things like that, but you know, what is the biggest cause of that for younger kids?
Honestly, it can be anything. So it could be maybe they played too rough on the playground and they bumped their head. They could have a prevalent history of ear infections that can really affect how well their hearing acuity is. It could also be either congenital, so they were born with hearing loss. We do have other systems in place that can catch things like that, like an early detection. But really, it could be anything that can cause a hearing loss.
Yeah, well, Travis did bring up a good point, though. In protecting our ear health, there are some things to keep in mind, including what volume your headphones are at.
You are absolutely correct, and especially with kids that potentially use Zoom for hybrid schooling, or if they like to listen to music with their tablets, making sure that headphone volume is reasonable is a really good suggestion. Our governing body suggests what's called the 60-60 rule. So it's 60% of your overall volume for 60 minutes at a time. So make sure that they're not listening to things for longer than an hour. Just make sure that they get 10-minute breaks to let their ears rest. And then always try to keep the volume down on anything that's in close proximity to their ears, like headphones, or if their tablet is really close, just make sure the volume is down.
I have never heard of the 60-60 rule. That's probably good for everybody to employ there. So everything that is good to keep in mind. And what else should families be thinking of when it comes to this as they head into the school year? Anything else that you want to make sure people know?
Absolutely. I think that just making sure that you are aware if anything feels different with your child's development or their health, it's really important to get it checked out. There are audiologists all over, not just the Portland metro area, but also throughout the state of Oregon and Washington that could support your child through any type of hearing difficulty. And really, if you do have hearing concerns, starting with an audiologist is a great place. We can also recommend if they need to see other healthcare providers like a speech language pathologist or an ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Yeah, definitely a good thing to keep in mind this fall. Katy, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great to
Thank
talk
you
to you
so
about
much.
this.
Some
Yeah.
good advice. And if you need more back to school prep to make sure you are ready for an A+ start to the school year, we've got everything you need to know to set up your kids for success all week on Coin.com. And tomorrow morning, we are digging into how vision checks will help kids go far in the classroom.